Hey everybody, this is Dark Guards, and we're back with another video here. So, haven't shown off the tank game in a few days. I know there's a video that's not too old that's still up there that shows doing layers and stuff. Grog has done more on that. We'll show off his work on that level. Kind of ironic though is that I was expecting to have a whole bunch of levels done by now. We're still only on like 1 or 2. Anyways, so the improvements have been made to the tank game are not as noticeable. But we do have some minor AI improvements to kind of show off. The AIs no longer try to shoot through walls. They actually do check to see if they're going to hit targets. They will still aim at me. So if I go around here, that turret will still aim. And if we come down to meet the other guy, he will still, of course, aim at me. But he will not shoot because there's a raycast that actually does check to see if he can see before firing, which is really nice. We're actually going to test that. Hopefully that is actually fully working. It's the first time I've loaded the game up since I've actually wrote that code. Code is pretty simple. It's not very complicated. Literally just cast a ray out and goes, okay, did I hit anything on this layer mask? And if I did, what did I hit? And if I hit the player, then attack the player. Anyways, we're back with the test level. I do have the horde level, which we could actually go test on, but I wanted to use the test level since I know that it does actually spawn a whole bunch of mobs, and we can actually check to see if they're capable of shooting properly. And they're not. Let's see what I messed up. We don't have any like output failures in the console. We do have a whole bunch of pathing time. Let's kill a couple of these so I can actually move properly. Pathing is still not perfect, as you can tell. Those guys over there are getting caught. I'm still doing a whole bunch of work on the pathing. It's not something as easy as I thought it was going to be. I'm so used to having actual pathing algorithms that are good off the back and not whatever this is. This is, well, to be honest, I think this level's pathing is all broken, which is the reason why these guys are getting caught. But that's good for me because we can then test the shooting. So the shooting scripts are pretty straightforward. We get a check that says if the firing arc, which is our old original check that simply goes, okay, are we within range? Is it within such and such of my firing angle? And it does that, and then it goes should fire at target, which is a new code, which simply just casts a ray out and goes, hey, can I hit something? Hopefully this will ignore things. We are using the shooting layer mask. The shooting layer mask is set to do enemy bullets. Enemy bullets cannot collide with enemy targets though, but they can collide with walls. So this should be working. Something we're probably going to want to do is do a really simple debug print line. Debug.log, and then we get our hit target. We're gonna have to actually kill off some mobs here because this is what we want, and we basically want to just check to see if the two references are the same. That's what we want to do. I'm gonna hit save on this. That should reload mid-level in theory. Yeah, it's freezing up as it's loading. There it goes. No reference object was not set to an instance of an object. That's not a good sign. I'm not sure what that came from. We're not seeing... You know, this would be really nice if we didn't have, like... Shoot at target line 61. That's what we just did. So something along here is null. We could try getting the collider. I think that's what we actually need to do. Because instead of trying to do the transform, I think we can do collider. This should work for the most part because the player is actually... I think we can actually do this, huh? I'm not too familiar with how everything works for this stuff. Because we can do this right down here, so I'm like looking at example code up here. We get the collider. Can you get the game object in the collider? Does it? Something I don't really like about the Unity website sometimes is I clicked 2D collider and I was hoping to get a list of methods. Instead, I got example code. Example code is cool, but I want to know what that collider is attached to. And I can easily figure this out. Oh yeah, we're just getting tons of null point exceptions. So at least the code compiles. So what we're going to do is turn this off. And I want to just duplicate this guy over here. So we're gonna take, actually we don't want to duplicate him, we're just gonna move him. I'm gonna bring him right over here. So that way I can just right off the back see if he is functioning. And that'll get rid of a lot of this problem, so we don't have as much junk with the pathing. And then what I want to do is I just want to print out the hit and see if that'll give us a lot of data. I want to see what's going on with all the hit ray traces. So we'll still get a null point after that line, so we'll still see null point junk in the console, but we at least get something going where we can actually see what's up. So he's going to path right up to the wall because you can't see that collision wall. How do I suppress these? Okay. So we're getting a raycast 2D hit. We're not getting any information off raycast 2D hit, which is not very useful. I want to see what our collider is. What it's recommending is we null point check the collider as well. So if we do this, maybe that will prevent us from getting a null point exception. Although we should be hitting something, unless our, you know, I'm going to see if we can do a quick debug. So we can do something like this. Run a debug, and I want direction. We'll do that. And they recommend also doing, if we're doing testing and stuff, to do another debug line to show kind of where it should have went. So we'll do direction times and then firing distance times 1.5 because this is I want our ray trace to be just a little further than the shooting distance just because reasons. And then we want to get rid of the actual do not hit part because we don't care. We just want to use the line itself as a debug. Clear. Cannot apply to Unity Vector 2 double. Okay. Apparently that's not a thing. Or wait, hold on. I need to turn that to net. That's probably why we couldn't do that. Still says the double thing. There it goes, it went away. Okay, so it's really weird how they don't have a type for doubles because double to float conversion isn't that bad. We got all this pathing junk. I never understood this. I got a plugin that should be doing a lot of the. So I'm assuming green line. No, green lines are path. Oh. There's our white line showing us our raycasts. And then we hit the wall, and now we're not raycasting anything. Because yeah, we would be hitting the wall with a raycast. How do I turn off your pathing? Get rid of you so you can stop it. Okay, you're just going to keep working anyways. Seek maybe? No? AI path? Aha! What does this move target script do? Move to target. I think it's an old script that shouldn't have been turned on anyways. So that'll get our pathing here. So we coded it so that our white lines are our pathing, and then we should see a yellow line if it hits a target. So we're not hitting anything. And our rays are going way further than they should be going. I don't understand why we're going that far. Maybe we need to normalize. Yeah, we need to normalize the thing. Let me Google this real quick. Unity normalize vector 2. I don't really know the commands for this. Oh, it's pretty simple though. Just .normalize at the end of the vector 2. So what we're going to want to do, and I don't know why these are casted for. I'm assuming it's just because there's like a weird behavior issue with how those behave. So that should normalize it. That should actually give our direction a bit of a better handling. Let's see if this actually does work the way I expected. Because I don't know why that line is so far. Cannot input convert void to vector 3. That's fine. So I like when I Google this, by the way, I go to their documentation. It's just like, here, the method name is called normalize. It doesn't give you any example code. You find this page useful now. Maybe they'll actually come through and actually change that. So we'll go another page here. It's literally the same page, you just got 2 posts for it. And we're gonna go Unity Answers because I actually have a much better time when I go to Unity Answers than I do their other stuff. So you just call normalize on it. So there's nothing special to it. So let's remove it from here because apparently you can't implicitly cast void, which is weird. So we're just going to go direction and then normalize, and hopefully that actually does exactly what I needed to do. See if it compiles this time. There it goes, it's freezing up as it's compiling. And we can see, by the way, you saw like a little pathing's messed up. Yeah, the pathing of this map. So okay, so that's good. We got a shorter line, so that tells me that our line distance is proper now. At least I got a null point at some point, which I didn't see what it was. So that's our white lines. So I almost want to say there's something wrong with the shooting mask, or is something wrong with this part. So let me look this up again. So I was messing with this earlier. So this is original raycasting stuff, which you know what? I wonder if the debug draw line can't actually. Well, no, our debug draw is working just fine. I just realized that. I'm about to say that, and I'm like, oh, it's fine. So we don't need that. Don't need that anymore. This is our raycast. So what am I actually looking for here? I want to see raycast physics. I want to see what the inputs look like this for this. This is where documentation helps so much. Minimum depth, maximum depth. Maybe I have the points inverted. Nope. Minimum depth, maximum depth. I more or less this is just here because I don't know what that really does. Now our shooting layer mask should be working. Because we got our layer mask. They don't have any example code because why have example code? They have another version of this that has a contact filter and they will give you a set of results. But I want this version here. So it looks like we actually might be able to leave off these last 2 parts. So I'm going to remove these last 2 and hopefully it actually will work just fine. Can't tell if it recompiled. I don't think it's recompiled yet. There it goes. Recompiling. Gotta love how this freezes up completely when it does it. Object reference set to an instance of an object. Null pathfinding boolean position change. So literally my pathfinding script just errored out. I was thinking about paying money for their advanced pro version of their pathfinding lib, and their basic version likes to crash when I have it turned off. Probably actually the set path to target script is crashing. So we know we're crossing over the tank. We know what should be happening. It should be hitting this wall right here where it's aiming at me. But we're not getting that. We're not getting any kind of collision. Let me check our shooting layer masks. So each gun has its own shooting layer mask, which is really not a great way to do this. It has enemy weapons. Enemy weapons should be able to hit. Well, no, we want to... Maybe we want to invert it. Oh. That's really dumb. Because when I reason I set it to enemy weapon right here is what I effectively want to do, and there's a menu for this. So if we go to project settings, physics 2D, I have this menu down here, and I have this set up so that way if I'm doing enemy weapons, I only want enemy weapons to collide with like a select full of things. I want them to collide with most of the default stuff to hit the player, but I don't want them to be able to collide with anything else. Everything's set to ignore raycasts. That's not what you should be doing. What if that could be breaking it? We might have to manually set this up for now until I can come through here and make a better system. We'll actually do this. Unity, get layers, a layer can collide with. Get a layers collision mask. Physics, get a ignore layer collision, my layer I. That is a really complicated way to go about doing this. So from what they're saying, you've got to build your layer mask. I'm going to hold off on doing that one because I want something that works a little bit better. I really do need to make an object pool sometime. That'd be really useful to help save a lot of the CPU. Calculate layer mask for layer. So I was hoping there was like a really simple method for this, but ignore layer collisions. So you want to invert something? Layer mask mask equals get mask. Is there no way just to get... Yeah, so we're just gonna have to go with like a really complicated solution. So we're gonna go with... Maybe it's this one I clicked. Yeah, because even though this is a pain in the butt, this is like a usable solution. And it's actually the part we would want. I hate copying code, but typing in Notepad is a pain in the butt. Copying's not any better though, because then you gotta format everything. So they're going through layers. I don't know why they're doing 32. I'm assuming that they're assuming there's only 32 layers, which is cool. But we get our start method, and then what we just need to do is make some kind of layer mask. Oh, we can actually grab our layer from our game object. That is actually really useful, because then that would solve this whole part up here. So what we're just going to do is we're going to switch this over to an integer, shooting layer mask, and then we're going to come down here. One, we want to get rid of this. Well, we want to initialize this as 0 because I'm assuming that it's important that that is 0. And then we're just going to build this up. Remove our semicolon because reasons. Get layer, physics ignoring layer I. So we go through each layer and we ask, okay, am I ignoring this layer? If I'm not ignoring the layer, then we want to build a more or less a mask out of this. Should in theory work. we're just going to have to turn this off. Capital convert int to boolean. Shoot at target. Line 24. What? I'm gonna assume like these need to be inverted, because this is how it usually is in Java. So make sure I didn't just copy JavaScript. No, that looks like C#. Yeah, I don't get why I in the middle. You know, this might be something to do with like how C# is slightly different than Java. Assignment, call, increment, decrement. Yeah, so I was inverted for whatever reason on that post, but it compiles now, so let's try this. My mom's gonna move again though. That's the only problem with this. I'm not seeing raycasts. Okay, so one, we want to go in the hierarchy view, grab our test mob. We want to turn off move. We want to turn off the seek component. Okay, you can't turn off seek component, you can turn off pathing. And let's turn off our own collider. Okay, that doesn't seem to be affecting anything. We're not seeing any ray traces, which is weird. I'm not seeing any hit calls. No, I am seeing hit. We're hitting the grid. I'm hoping by grid, they mean this thing right here. So what I want to do is I want to draw this anyways. So I'm going to draw the white line. And we're going to actually move this up to here, because if we put it down there, we're not going to ever see it. Put that there, because I want to see where the line's drawing towards. Which we know it's going to be here, but I still want to see it. So we know that's there. Then we want to look at this. I want to see if I messed up the debug ray trace here. Because we got direction, hit distance, color should be yellow, transform position. So this looks just fine. We know we're hitting the grid. Let me check, because there was a bug that I did not fix, I don't think in this level, that we found in one of the other levels, where the grid had a collider. It wasn't supposed to have a collider. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and just turn off our movement, which shouldn't really be on anyways, so I'm going to just hit apply and leave it off. That should apply to all of them. And then we're going to turn off our seeking script, which is what should actually be handling movement, so I don't know what this script is on here for anymore. Doesn't even look like it was set up properly, so it doesn't look like it was going to do anything anyways. So start our script. Cool, clear on play is set, so it should update my debug grid. So it's hitting wall. We're not seeing a line though, but we know it's hitting this wall here, which is making me really happy because that's what it should be doing. So it's back up, cool. And then it hit tank, so that's good. That's a really good sign right there. So our ray traces are working. So that means our mobs can actually see properly. Let's go back to game view. Move our tank right here. You can see that. The guns are not shooting though. So this is a not very good sign. It does mean that it can see me. It does know it hit me. But it does not actually seem to know that I am the same object. So what we're supposed to be doing is hitting the current target. You know, I just might return true here because we know if we hit a collider. Actually, we need to check the collider layer, because if the collider layer is player, then we can might as well shoot at them, because I mean we know that they're part of the player's team or whatever. Actually, let's do another print line. I want to see what we can do with this object. I want to know what object this actually is. And let's see what we get out of that. As soon as this actually take cost in play mode. Okay. Object reference not set to an instance of an object, so yeah, the pathing broke again. Unity debug objects. So we know it's the tank. So it is shooting at the actual tank object right here, which is our player, which should be our target. Let's see, target mob. Test mob actually is what it's called. Find target. Host is test mob. Entity mob. Current target is tank. So this should return true, right here. Let's move this out to a variable, just so I can see what it is. Boolean is target, and then we're going to of course return this. But I want to see if it is true, because if everything's working properly, and it's one of the things it's kind of important to check is if the code is actually doing what it's supposed to do, because what could happen is all of this stuff could be working just fine. And why you're not saving? There it goes. All this stuff could be working fine, and then something like, say for example, the weapon fire script broke. So like the weapon fire script itself may have not stopped working rather than anything else. So let this do its thing. I'm going to clear it again. And it should compile. It's not hitting it, so, or doesn't think it's the player. So how to check this? So what are we storing for our current target? This is something important. Oh yeah, what should be a game object. Let me double check this. So we want to find this menu, that menu, up a level, scripts, AI. Apparently that's not it. Parts maybe? Where did I throw these scripts at? Oh yeah, it is this in here. So it's storing an instance of an entity. Okay. Maybe so we need to do. So we need to go back to our script here. And then we need to do this. Simple bug, maybe? Hopefully. It is firing now. Cool. Just those rounds are moving a lot faster than I expected. You can kind of see them though. Are they colliding with their own bullets? I think they actually are, because we can see the lines bounce. It shouldn't collide with its own bullets though. Weird. I'm gonna call it good enough though, because this is something I can definitely just toy with later and fix. Anyways, to end this off, since we just sat here and did a whole bunch of dev stuff rather than actually showing mechanics off, because I was hoping for a short video, we'll go ahead and hit File, Save Scene, and we'll show off the progress that's currently being done on the tank level. Even though Grogger would rather me not show off levels, I think it's good. When we get feedback, too, I can show off the good work he actually does. So get this level loaded up. He worked on it a bit today. I'm really hopeful because he actually does make really good progress when he actually does work on the maps. He just only works on the map like once a week. I'm hoping to get that kicked up to like once a day, so that way we get a whole bunch of levels. So we left off, I think when we left off, we only had like this part done. And now he's kind of got this here. He's got it decorated now, so we've got a whole bunch of crystals here. Of course, we still do definitely need textures for this. This is not what the final texture is going to work like, especially for the crystals. He started giving some contemplation into where he wants enemies to spawn from. So he wants these to be kind of spawn points. That's what he's using the yellow crystals for. And the concept behind this is, as you drive through the level, you're going to come up here and you're going to pass this point first. You're going to get up somewhere around here, and then this point's going to trigger, and they're going to jump up behind you. The whole point of this level is to kind of do a ambush style level, because you weren't supposed to encounter enemies, is what the concept and the dialogue is going to end up kind of being. I'm not sure if that's what we're actually going to do. And at 2, I think I need to move these down a little bit so you can drive easy. Let's actually just drive up through the level and just look at the level as we drive. Should probably full screen on play. How do we... Let's actually do it this way. So we'll click maximize on play. Or the gizmo menu is going to open up randomly. Maximize on play. Hit play. See if this works too. I haven't had a lot of luck with a lot of games running with the new streaming setup. MechWarrior likes to use my mouse. It's a good example. You know, I just noticed the GUI on the top here is not working properly. Let me zoom out here real quick. Oh, there we go. So I had zoomed in. That's what happened. I was worried that the nice little GUI that I'm working on is completely unfinished had broken. So we got the level here. I definitely need to work on camera stuff. What I'm thinking I really want to do is make it where your player tank is closer to the down part down here, and that the camera pushes up and down a little better. But there's a lot of work that's going to go into that, because that's going to have to be directionalized movement. This isn't too bad. So you would have something like here. You would drive up to here. You have enemies pop up. Oh, that's a wall. Is that meant to be a wall? Huh. Okay. So you have enemies that would pop up from this point. And you would get up about here. They would pop up. You would then have to shoot them and kill them. You would then move or keep moving. A little bit of a confusing layout of the level, actually. We're going to have arrows and stuff that's going to make sure that you're at least going in the somewhat right direction, because this is actually kind of a big level. But you don't really need to explore the whole level, so you don't actually have to go through the entire level. You don't have to clear these levels. You don't have to go looking through things. There will probably be hidden stuff in the levels, though, so there is actually an advantage to exploring the level. But for the most part, you'll just drive through, kill enemies as you pop up to them, and the whole goal is to get to the other side of the level and call it a day, because this is meant to be an intermission level, like something you go between different areas. It's just meant to get you from point A to point B and give you something to do while you're doing that, rather than just jumping from one story mission to the next and so on. So it's had to help pace out the game. Drive through it. It's not too bad. You can imagine, like, when we actually do get the graphics done for this, these crystals are going to be slightly different color. They're going to be different colored each. They'll be slightly translucent and they'll glow, including you'll be able to shatter and break them too, which is the whole plan. We'll also have like nice sand and grass and stuff going here. Nice. These will be like things that you can, well, you won't be able to fall into them, but these aren't actually going to be walls because you can shoot past them. These are meant to be like cliffs and stuff. So we'll probably have some terrain down there that you can look at. You'll probably see like stuff moving around. Might put some eagles in there just to kind of give the emphasis that it is a really big area. Kind of give that sense of height, which should be really hard to do. I've never done that before. You drive through the level. I need a mini map. Let me go. Can I get to the scene view? Nope, I can't get the scene view from here. But yeah, drive through. Here's another ambush point. Crystals. I need to definitely work on the camera so I'm not running into stuff. So you got all this space to the left. You got all this space to the right. But then you don't have a lot of space up and down. That's where I really want the tank to be like down here, and you to move, and the camera move with you a lot quicker. I may just change the boxes. This is something we could do if I can get back to the scene view. Is the camera is really not that hard to mess with. So when we got the camera, and Grogger forgot to put all the crystals and sub prefabs again. So somewhere in here is a camera. Yeah, right there, main camera. It has a little view box on it. And this is actually how we set up the movement. So this is a cinematic camera, so it's through the cinematic plugin. And the reason we're just using this is because it saves us a ton of time writing our own plugin for this, because it's not too hard to do this, but when you have something like this where you can draw and you can make your camera focus. I think this is our dead zone is what this is. Like our snap. zone. So let's move this like this and we'll just toy around with it real quick. Definitely something that's going to need a lot of work. Because I want there to be a little bit of fluidity in the camera, so that way the camera's not like instantaneously responding to movement. But you also want to make it respond quickly because you need to be able to see stuff that's coming up in front of you. You need to be able to see that enemy that's going to be right here or something, which I'm probably going to zoom the game out just a little bit more. Make the tank just slightly smaller. I don't want to make it too small because I do actually plan to possibly make a version of this game for the cell phone and tablet and everything else, and you don't want to make stuff too small. But we need to make sure that you're not going to get sniped by enemies. Although if I keep all the enemies firing distance to really short distance, then it should work out really well, but it's not going to work out the way I wanted it to. But it's good enough. Anyways, I'll leave you guys here and I'll be back with more content updates and everything else.